Hey everyone, thank you for coming back. My name is Jeremy Santana with Redemptive Motorsports, and I'm bringing you another C10 build. 1971. Originally this was the shop truck, and I sold it to a customer, and he took it to a whole new level where we really didn't see where it would go. Starting off, this originally was just a 283, 3 on the tree, plain Jane C10, nothing fancy, orange truck, pop-off status, and it worked great. Then we pretty much blew this thing apart. Frame off, we started off with good foundation with QA1 products. We have tubular upper and lower, front suspension, tubular rear suspension. Also with the QA1, it has dual adjustable coilovers front rear for your compression and rebound. And we also have the big front and rear sway bar on it. Both of them are adjustable as well. We also mated that with Warbird disc brakes. We have the big 6-piston front brakes, 4 pistons out the back, modular spindles on the front. So we have the nice C6, C7 modular bearings on the front. We have Ferguson quick ratio steering box. For power plant, we started off with a 5.7 short block LS1 aluminum block, has RTX Edelbrock CNC ported heads. We went with a BTR Stage 3 PDS cam because we have a Magnuson Radix 1900 Supercharger topping this thing off. Backing up the engine, we went with a T56 from boiler Stage 2 transmission. In between the engine and trans, we went with a McLeod twin disc clutch to keep everything together. Out back, we have the stock 12-bolt rear end housing, but it has motive gears with a Detroit locker. And we ended up putting a 373 gear ratio in it. Finishing up the suspension, we went with US Mags. These are their 2-piece concave Grand Prix 2 wheels. We had the barrels powder coated black, and we had the center get Cerakoted bronze to match the trim on the truck. Speaking of the trim, this was the biggest factor of what sets this truck apart. It's a really bold move. This was the customer's idea and his choice of color. We went with a prismatic Cerakote bronze. Everything is done in bronze. The grille, the bumper, the trim, the windshield trim, including the supercharger. Basically, everything that is chrome or should be chrome, we removed. We had it blasted, and we had it Cerakoted bronze to just give it something that sets it apart. It also makes the paint really pop. Once the decision of the Cerakote was finished and we got that started, we moved on to the paint. We ended up buffing the paint. We had it ceramic coated, and it really made a really nice contrast in between the trim and the paint itself. We did a bed liner inside the bed, and just to seal off all the patina that's inside there, to seal any prevention of surface rust coming in the future. Engine bay, super clean engine bay. That's the way we like to build them. We smoothed the firewall. On the passenger side of the firewall, we had the billet bulkhead from Vintage Air. On the driver's side, we went away with the factory vacuum booster and the old master cylinder. These are Tilton Level 7 race pedals. This has a front rear master cylinder, and it has a third master cylinder for your clutch. It does have a brake bias inside, so you can adjust the brake bias front to rear. So managing the engine, we went with a Holley Terminator X. Lance Fishroom tuned it, and we had it on the dyno not too long ago. Fuel setup is a Boyd's tank, Aeromotive 450 pump. Everything uses Vibrant Performance. Fuel lines, all the dash fittings actually, all the AM fittings on the truck is all from Vibrant Performance. Valve covers, catch cannons, those are all dash 10 Vibrant. And something unique on this truck is that we did away with the rubber upper and lower radiator hoses. We went with a dash 20 upper and lower radiator hose. It was something we wanted to do, something custom. It gave us a little more clearance for the cold air intake that we fabbed in-house. Lastly, in the engine bay, we topped off the hood with a nice set of Ring Brother billet hinges. These things are super nice, super adjustable. They close nice and they open nice. They have a really nice charged strut in there. Moving on to exhaust, we have stainless long tube headers. We do all the stainless exhaust in-house. It has all V-bands connecting all the exhaust, so it's super removable if you need a maintenance or have to remove it for any service items. But something very special on this truck that we wanted to do, we have side exits coming out of the bed. We're using stainless works side exit tips. We had those powder coated on the inside. Also the trim was Cerakoted bronze just to kind of match the theme of the truck. And the muffler choice was the tried and true Borla Pro XS. Lastly, the two last things outside is the original filler neck for the gas tank. We ended up modifying that to put a onboard trickle charger for the battery. That way, if this truck happens to sit for a few months in storage for bad weather or whatsoever, you just put in a drop cord, have a 2 amp trickle charger, maintaining the battery life. And then in the back, through the left tail light, we also have the filler neck in there. These are all in-house products that we make, and it uses a C10 filler neck, so you do not need a cap, and it just keeps it super clean. You don't have to put a hole in your bed and have to move things around, dragging the fuel nozzle over your tailgate, spilling fuel everywhere. So it's just a nice clean setup, and it just makes it look really good and keeps the original fuel tank functional as well. Moving inside, we went with TMI Interiors. It has a bolstered bench seat in it that keeps you planted in the seat when you're driving. We went with their dash pad, their headliner, and we bought an extra material to redo the original door panels. We went with Dakota Digital RTX gauges. We have vintage air inside, keeping everything nice and clean. Retro sound head unit, and we also, with the T56 shifter handle, we went with Bowler's billet handle. The head unit, we went with a retro sound just to keep the classic look, but for the speakers, we did go with Kicker Audio. We have a 10-inch sub in there, and we have two 8-vocal speakers in there. All right, guys, so that pretty much wraps up the truck, but let's hop in it, let's go for a drive down the road, and let's see what it'll do.
About these clutches, even though it's a twin disc clutch rated to 800 foot-pounds, it literally drives like a stock car. There's no chattering, so if you get stuck in traffic downtown Atlanta, you can ride the clutch as many times as you need to, and you won't have any problems with it. So good. The tilt pedals are really nice from level 7. They did a good job getting the ratios right for the brakes and the clutch.